So you've downloaded FL Studio and it looks like this. It's your first time, you don't know any music theory, then this video is for you. So step by step, I show you how to make your first chord progression ever. Here's a plus and you can load up any VST plugin you can find. I will use now FL stock plugins because you've got them too. I would recommend to use in the beginning something like Flex. And here are your libraries where you can find sample-based sounds. And I just searched down there for tags, keys, maybe search in all. Let's use something simple like this sound maybe. Right click on your instrument and open piano roll. Then it looks like that. If you want to start with chords, FL Studio has some tools to help you. The first thing you can find here, you can just drag and drop basic chords by just clicking in. So this is a D minor chord and it sounds like that. If you don't know any music theory, it's really hard to do something good sounding with just these chords. So we want to make something by our own. So I basically start with one chord. And the first chord is just to show you how to build minor and major chords. So a basic major chord would be your root note, like an E maybe. Then your major third would be a G sharp. And the B would be your fifth. And then you got a major chord. Sounds happy, yeah, I know. Now the G sharp is your major third. If you drop it down one tone, it's your minor third. And then the full chord sounds like that. That's all we need to know now. We go back to the sampler here, open a piano roll. And this is a trick just for you. We got a E minor chord and we want to make something like a melody with that. We are searching for a scale here. I rather use minor scales. I would use minor natural. If you place that here, you can see, okay, we got some tones. We just copy that and paste that to the next E. And here to the next E. So we got like 3 octaves. You can see we just used these tones we got in the scale. Now we build something about that. Like a second chord. Let's use maybe that. This would be a D major. And if you want to a C major, let's build something like that. Okay, so we got now our root notes. This would be E, D, C, and D again. So these are all root positions. We got our root note as a bass note. So we can just copy them and make a bass note out of that. What we are doing now are chord inversions. At this point, I would use like 1 octave up. So you see it's a bit nearer to the B. It sounds completely different. This would be the first inversion. Try with the D. I would only do the last one. Change the sound. We are using now emotional keys by Flex again. The 80s keys were not right for that. After that we want to build like a little melody around that. So we are using again something you got in your DAW. You know what, we're using Flex again. So maybe we can make something dark. Something like that maybe. Now we got the chords here. We can use the chords and build something simple like that. So I just splitted the chords up. Let's put it 1 octave higher. Sounds good, but we can make that more interesting if we just use more like second notes over that. Let's think again about the scale. Now we got a simple melody on simple chords. But what you can do to make it way more interesting is use a second sound to layer down the main melody or just to give it some push. So we use again Flex, because why not? Maybe we find something like a bell. What I do now is deleting the sampler because it's distracting me from the tones and the notes we already got. You don't have to, but I do. Now we got that, and we can see these are all ghost notes. So maybe do something like that. want to lay down a bass pad quickly, just for the vibe. If you don't know Serum, it's a really good plugin. I love to use that. And this is my favorite bass pad. Little recap. We built basic chords, simple chords around major and minor. We made little chord inversions to sound them more familiar together. We built a simple melody around the chords. What I really have to say is you can use those sounds too. They are all in flex. I know they sound basic, but you can always customize them. So we did no sound design today. If you want to learn something more about sound design, just let me know. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any more videos or tutorials about sound design maybe. So now go and make some bangers.